Give me a second. I haven't done it in a while. I'm just like on a different level right now. Let me figure this out. I haven't done line. No, stop. Can you just fucking do the thing? Stop. YouTube, you're pissing me off. Stop, please. Okay, there's that. I don't know why my nephew's yelling. He does it for dumb reasons. Okay, let me put that down. I have been depressed. It's the whole thing. Let me talk about it. But give me a second. I need to go get. Yeah, I haven't eaten today, so let me go get my muffin from off my thing, and I'll be right back. Muffin. I'll get two. You know what's terrible? My nephew got into my muffins, and they started, or him and my niece, honestly, started eating my muffins, and now there's just like two muffins in there that, I mean, not my creaky ass chair. They're now like two muffins in there that are just like half eaten, like the tops of the muffin is eaten, and it's just, I don't want to take it out because they're my nephew, my niece and nephew. I can eat the muffin, but also like looking pretty unappetizing. There's just half a muffin gone. And they're still in the wrappers. They just took the tops off. Ooh, whatever. Sorry, give me a second. I got to put up the chat so I see it. Which is kind of hard on this. I have two screens, and my screen usually is like always fucking stop with that. It's always how do I explain it? What is words I'm looking for? I'm looking for words. How do words work? It's always blocking the other screen, so blocking enough to where the chat get blocked the whole thing. Anyways, I'm extremely tired of life right now. I was gonna make a video, and I had a whole thumbnail, which I should probably actually set that up while I'm talking. I had a whole thumbnail and everything done for it, and I was gonna do it, but then I realized it's fucking depressing as fuck. Like, I don't think anybody wants to hear me bitch and moan. I have to go get my shoes, so I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be a very short live stream. It's not really gonna be as long as they usually are. But nothing's fun anymore. Everything just sucks for me right now. And I feel very overwhelmed and exhausted. And usually that's kind of normal. Like, tiny things exhaust me. Like, just going through normal day shit exhausts me. But this is like another level of like, oh, this is depression. You know? I'm gonna tell you in a second. Let me figure out how to change this, actually. How do I do that? I actually don't know. How do I change the thumbnail for the live stream? Oh wait, would I go here? Probably. Yes, I would go here, and let me change it really quickly. I should have pre-changed it, but I didn't think about it. Oh, can I not do it? Wait. I should totally be able to do it. I don't understand where... I don't know where it would be. Ah, found it. And I can just use the video thumbnail for this one. And if I, change my mind and actually do the video, you know what I mean? Then it is what it is. No, but, that's a perfect example of all the things we need to talk about that happened. I'm gonna make it to videos, I just... drawing something... How can I explain it? It's not like I don't want to draw it, I just... Making thumbnails kind of sucks. Like, it kind of sucks ass. So I don't really like making them. And so I'm trying to make all the thumbnails for the videos before I even make the damn videos. Because I know the general subject, but I'm just going to make the thumbnail so when I start making the videos, I don't even have to worry about the thumbnails. It's not like a worrisome thing in the back of my head. Let me change this actually. My favorite. There we go. Thumbnail's different. But yeah, a lot has happened that I've been wanting to talk about. But either I thought it was too saturated, or it was too much, or it was whatever. But, you know, for example, Christian, that whole situation was just sad. Like, nothing about it. Well, yeah, no, everything about that whole situation was fucking sad. Got him taking advantage of his mother. You had somebody who clearly, I won't say isn't okay, but like clearly is in a situation where he shouldn't be taking care of anyone, in my opinion. Excuse me, I'm trying to eat this muffin. You have them taking care of somebody who they put in a position like that. I don't want to say it, obviously, because it's gross. And thank God they are in jail, but also with the mother, who's going to take care of them? And how's that going to work? And it's a whole thing that's like, yeah, it's like, alright, he's in jail, but then it's just a whole, like, if the system already fucked it up to where that person, they're not a man. I forgot. That person, she could take care of her mother and do that type of thing to them. Obviously, there had to have been no one else that could take in the mother or didn't care enough to. So what's gonna happen with that? Are they just gonna be put in a home? And that's dangerous. Like, there's just so much that's just unanswered or crazy, and then everybody's focused on this one girl who is like shitty that was talking to him and like coercing him low key into doing it, and it's like coercing them into doing it. Actually, I don't know their pronouns. I think it's she. I believe it's she. Well, I'm gonna go with they, them for right now. They were coercing them to do it, and it's like, that bitch, you know, she is crazy on another level, but she's a normal level of crazy for the type of people she surrounded herself with. That's like Psycho Kiwi Farms crazy person, in my opinion. I'm not surprised by her actions. There's that. If you don't know the whole, like, what was it, Long Beach Griffey thing that happened a while ago, that shit was wild. My man saying we need to hold victims accountable, making a video referencing my man was wild. I was watching all that go down on Twitter. I'm like, the fuck is going on? You are crazy, out of your mind. I get that was his Heavenly, which I don't even know Heavenly like that. I don't follow Heavenly. I barely follow Griffey. I just know of his content, and sometimes see him having a stroke. Sometimes see him on TikTok, but I get that Heavenly was his friend, but my man was wilding. Like, my man was saying some out of pocket, disrespectful shit, and I watch and follow the people that are not associated with him, but like either are his friends or have associated with him or in the same like group, you know what I mean, as him. And I like the disrespect. He didn't even think about the disrespect on everybody else. When you protect one friend so much, you don't even think about how what your words might affect other people. You're just in your feelings about this particular thing. That's a problem. That's a real problem, because that's white knightish shit right there. When you're so bothered, you don't even think about how this affects anybody else but that one person. That's some white knight shit. Usually, when we defend somebody, we say it because this is for everybody. So it's how can I explain it? He said it as if, oh, but what about if it was me? Or what about if it was somebody else? I don't like that shit. But it was like, no, You're not thinking about if it was somebody else. You're not thinking of, like, I don't want to explain the entire situation, but that whole thing was fucking wild. He was ignoring basic information that his friend had. He was doing the whole, and maybe it's because I'm in the commentary community, so it's hard for me to hear somebody sit here and make a whole live stream saying, listen, there's so much proof, and there's so, like, if you just saw what I saw, you'd see that I was right, but not show us not a goddamn thing. To this day, we don't see anything. Like, we don't see what you're talking about and how that correlates. It's just you saying that it does because you saw something that changed your mind. Show us the proof. Why hasn't anybody shown us anything? This is, like, stop. And the stuff that they did show us, it was like, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean what you think it means. And I was so mad. I was so triggered by the whole thing. Well, bro, I was that whole. I saw that at the middle of the night. So like I was sitting here on my phone in the middle of the night watching all this shit, watching stuff, and I'm just like, I want to yell. It was so stupid. It's basically just two dudes not understanding what consent means, basically. Oh well, my friend is socially awkward, and so he's not good at, understanding cues and stuff like that. It's called asking for consent. If you know that you're bad at, feeling out those vibes, it's not anybody else's responsibility but yours. Because I don't have that problem. But yours, it's no one else's responsibility but yours to then ask for consent. Point blank, period. So if your friend didn't take the initiative to do that, that's still their fault. Period. And he's saying like, well, I was in the room when it happened. You were holding your friend's dick. You were with your friend holding his dick out during the time, or were you just in the same party? I was like saying, I didn't see anybody get drugged or anything in that room, and I was at the party. Were you in the room? No, I was in the room, but I was at the party. So you must not have gotten drugged. Like, what? This man was talking bare foolishness, and nobody was saying and he's so mad. None of his friends were saying shit too, and I like some of them. I'm like, you guys are talking, like, this man's talking bare foolishness, and y'all are just like, what is this? We're not gonna say nothing. We're just gonna ignore it. I was so mad. That whole situation made me so mad. It still makes me mad. He put out he triple, doubled, quadrupled down the entire situation. Bitched and moaned, made a whole video, all that, and then still ended up apologizing because he was wrong. Oh, I mean, so mad. So he apologized or whatever. I don't care. It's nothing. It means nothing. And people are just like, well, he wouldn't have apologized if, like, I'm his friend. I know he wouldn't have apologized so easily. He really means it. I'm like, I don't care if you really mean it at the time. I don't give a fuck. You said some wild ass shit and then triple dog dared double downed on it. Like, I don't. No, you're shit. You're trash. Like, you really are. What are you talking about? So, like, that's a content creator. Every time I see him on TikTok, I am going to block whatever account that's from because it's too much. Throw the whole person away. Throw the whole person away. Fucking Heavenly can eat my ass, and so can Griffey. Like, they suck. And anybody who was defending them have to throw the person away. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you said you're a sexual assault victim. If you don't understand consent, that's not my problem. I don't care what you are. I don't care what. Throw the whole person away. You throw them away. I don't care about your feelings. I care about facts. Like, I can't. Anyways. I just wanted to say that because that shit pissed me the shit off, like the fuck off. I can't. I'm having a stroke. I'm sorry. I'm not even seeing the comments. I scrolled all the way down. My bad. I just kind of what I missed. It was. I mean, I don't know. There's my whole rant about that situation, and other than that, we talked about the Chris Chan thing. That's about it. And you can watch it back. I'm gonna keep this one up because, yeah. But no, I understand. Mm, I didn't get it. I didn't know that they went by him, her, Christian. I didn't know that until the situation, uh, and actually, I think, yeah, yeah, I didn't know that they went by that until that happened. So, to be fair, most people are following, like, Christian is funny, and it's a funny, like, meme, Sonic 2, but, I'm sorry, Christian's funny, Sonic 2 is a funny meme, but to be real, like, to be real about it, um, like, I didn't follow her like that. Like, I watched that documentary on her and her life and, like, how she became who she is, but I didn't know, man. It's not really a TikTok person, they're a YouTuber, but I see them a lot on TikTok because I don't follow them because they're trash. I'm eating a muffin, by the way, so sorry. Mm. Long Beach Riffy? Yeah, Long Beach Riffy. And Heavenly something. I don't know Heavenly's thing, but Long Beach Riffy pissed me off because I was just like, I kept seeing his shit. It was making me mad. His friends were making me mad too. And again, maybe I'm just in the commentary community. We're here about proof, and we talk. We are adults, so we. Not all of us are adults, but we act like adults somewhat. So we think before we talk, and these idiots don't think before they talk. And so he tripled dog down. He tripled down on the situation, and then made an apology anyways. And I don't feel like his apology is even genuine, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it was more of like, I apologize to everybody, but I said what I said still, and I did that, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Even if you're sincerely apologizing, apology don't mean shit. Show it with your actions. Show it with your actions. And your actions so far have shown that you're trash. So your apology really doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. Could eat my ass. Anyway, there's that. And then I had unpopular movie opinions that I also want to talk about, since I have a little bit of time before I have to go get Sam shoes. Suicide Squad sucked ass. And people keep saying that's a good movie or that was better than the first one. Like, you're a damn lie. It's a bunch of oh my god, I hate people like this. This is why I fucking, this is why I don't go in the this is why I don't go into the comic community. There's a bunch of this. And it sucks. It's a bunch of people, this is what Suicide Squad was supposed to be the entire time. Oh, it's supposed to suck this much? It's supposed to be this boring? I swear, just a bunch of boys saying, ha ha ha, explosions, funny, John Cena making joke, funny, explosions, the character sucks, they were boring. The characters I actually wanted to see that actually seemed really cool, like fucking Weasel. You know how much I would have wanted Weasel? All the characters that were like, oh, this is a cool character, this would have been a cool person. You know what I mean? Excuse me. They fucking died off in the beginning. If you haven't watched the movie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is a spoiler. They died off at the beginning of the damn movie. Sorry, give me a second. I'm like, I choked a little bit on that last muffin piece. I'm sorry. They died at the beginning of the movie. The ones that we were left with, Major Glory, fucking, basically fucking, what's the name, Deadshot? Like, rip off. Like, I don't care about these characters. And literally, by the end of the movie, I was like, God, I don't remember shit of what happened because it didn't really matter. It was literally just explosions, funny joke. This sucked. This was actually a shitty movie. If I were to watch the first one or the second one, I would have preferred the first one. I personally would have preferred the first one. First one wasn't great either. But the first one at least had some character. Hell, the villain was good. That was a great part. The villain was great. I loved the villain. I miss Enchantress. I missed her because she was actually a pretty decent villain. It's like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. And sure it wasn't perfect and the movie kind of sucked. But I wanted it over the second one. The second one was so stupid and boring, and this is what the Suicide Squad. And literally, how I explained it or how I saw it was, this is if you took the Suicide Squad. Well, let's just say it like this: any series of comics that you've ever seen, like let's say Green Lantern, right? And you see the different issues of the comic. It's like if you went in the middle of it, like not in a good part, not in a finale, not even like a this is a good character, good monsters, good anything. Just randomly the middle of the series took some random probably filler episode or filler episode. I keep saying it as if it's not a book. Filler comic, and you just turn that into a movie. Randomly, just turn that into a movie and said this is a great example of this concept, these characters, and I'm just like, this is boring. It literally felt like a filler. I'm like, I don't like these characters. Harley Quinn was annoying the entire time. She always is to me. Like, I'm annoyed. Like, I was so annoyed at that movie. And people were still saying, like, it's so good. It was so much better. I'm like, you're a fucking lie. Alright, cool. Just because it wasn't what you wanted it to be doesn't mean that this is good. It doesn't mean that this is a good representation of that shit. It's literally, oh, I know it's supposed to, I mean, it would great if this was quality. But this is just like the comic book, so that makes it great. That's cool if you watch them and you, or watch them. If you read them and you like them, that's cool. Most of y'all didn't. So you don't even really have a good, like, oh, this is what it was and this is what they, interpreted it to be in this movie. Most of y'all just talking out your ass. So it's irritating. I thought Old was good. The movie Old, listen, Shyamalan has a lot of shitty ass movies. Old was not one of them. Old was actually fucking interesting. It wasn't the best movie. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is the best movie of life, but it wasn't shitty. It was solid good. There were some plot holes and things that didn't make sense, but then also we're talking about a fantasy world where a bunch of random shit is happening. I think it kept me interested. It kept me alive because Suicide Squad kept me slept. Like I was asleep. I felt like I was gonna go to sleep. I was trying really hard not to like actually go to sleep because I know I'll start snoring. So it just dread. That one didn't go right down right. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. I'm done eating. I promise. But no, Old was actually pretty good. It was interesting. It was something. Like if somebody was like, "Oh, let's watch a random movie," and they put on Old, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, this movie fucking sucks. This is fucking stupid." I would be like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's weird. All right." That's cool, I guess. And then it's weird what people tend to pick apart. It's like, if it has good action and visuals, they'll just ignore all the story and how nothing in fucking Suicide Squad made sense. But when it comes to Old, where they gave a good general concept and tried to give you some logic to the stuff which they really didn't have to do because it's a fantasy movie. It's about like people literally aging at a rapid rate. They could have just said you aged because you aged and that was it. They could have just said magic, and that was the end of it. But they tried to give something because they knew people were gonna complain. Y'all know what you want. Again, I see people like I don't get it. Like people weird with like opinions. I don't understand it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just what it is. Maybe I just have weird or popular opinions because I don't understand it. Even just people shitting on fucking. What was it? Spider-Man Goes Home. I forget the fucking name of the movie. But like they're mad because Spider-Man suit. It's the biotech and it just goes on. Why don't they just like wear like go Green Goblin killing everybody. I need to stop in the middle of what I'm doing and go put on my suit. What? That's stupid. Why would they do that? That's the reason that the whole, like, the suit just comes onto their body works. So it doesn't, it takes away that dumb thing that, like, what? Like, what? What? Wait, I know everybody's dying. I gotta go pull my suit real quick. Like, that's so stupid. People are genuinely saying that as if, like, that's a smart thing. Like, that's a, like, I can't. I don't think people hear themselves talk. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm sick also. Well, I don't want to say sick. I'm depressed. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about. You'll never understand how tired I am of everything. Like, I made that video about, like, aging up characters and whatnot, and that's shit. Those types of videos is why I don't make those types of videos. I could make so many videos like that. I promise I could. Or with those types of opinions. Or even talking about dramas and dismantling them. But I can't. Because they're so exhausting. Like, the response, everything, it just takes energy away from me. I just don't know how to really explain it other than that. I'm sorry I haven't been drawing, by the way. I was eating, and also, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this drawing, actually, because this is supposed to be a thumbnail to a video talking about, like, which I could talk about that here, but I'll talk about it in a second, like, yaoi and yuri, and how it gets a bad rep, and people believe every fucking piece of yaoi or yuri, or if it's porn yaoi and yuri, is fetishizing, fucking whatever people it's portraying, and obviously every fucking piece of yaoi and yuri that isn't to my liking is fetishizing gay people, because, you know, making gay porn is not, it has to be fetishizing it. You have to be getting off on making that type of stuff, and you're doing it because you fetishize that person because you're not gay, and you and it's just like, remember when people understood making shit for others? Remember that? Remember when, like, it was an understood thing that someone making content or creating content, they were making it for other people. That's the... having a stroke. That's the point. Is to make the content for others' enjoyment. You may not even enjoy that content, but you're making it for other people who enjoy it. Remember that? Remember that? Wasn't that a fun time? But that's what this video, or this is what this person humanoid thing I'm making is. This is gonna be, you know, obviously on the left it's gonna be me, or my character. On the right it's going to be humanoid white person. Pretty much. Literally a humanoid white person. Like, they're not gonna have a face. That's why the interest. Because the love interest. You get what I'm saying? Like, you see, I'm clever. Also, tell me if you like the background here. This is gonna be the background to it. Because I wanted to make, you know what I'm talking about. Like those, like, cute, pretty, popping anime moment type things. So this is the background right now. That's what I got, anyways. Excuse me. I'm conflicted with the aging up controversy. Yeah, listen, if you don't, I said it before in that video, I don't enjoy it. Well, let me say it like this. Let me try to be a little bit more clear. Most examples of it, I feel uncomfortable with. But if you feel uncomfortable with it, you just kind of go. That's kind of how that works, you know? Excuse me. You could feel any type of way you feel about it. I just didn't like the harassment towards a fucking creator for making content like that. And even then, I think I was gonna, this is what I was gonna make in a follow-up video that I'm not gonna make because it's too mentally exhausting. This is a point I was gonna put out there. That, you know, that when you say stuff like that, it has to apply to everything else. It can't just be, no, it's in this vacuum place because I don't like it. That's stupid. That's not how the world works. What you're saying would then have to apply to other scenarios. So, example, the DDLG kink. That would apply there. So you're gonna kink shame now? Is that what we're gonna do? That would also have to apply to that also would have to apply to even just romantically, or whether it's sexualizing, making a romantic scene or anything about child. Like, does that apply there too? Is that my question? Like, we all talked about sexualizing it, but what if you're just making a romantic moment between two kids and making that believable? Is that also weird? Because you're taking the time to do something like that. So is that also weird? Is that also a thing that we should be shitting on? That's my question. Because, like, even in those cases, you're still thinking about, in that case, you'd still be thinking about a child and making that child character kiss, be romantic with, giving them moments of those types of things, which is kind of weird. If we're gonna go with their logic, or in the logic of this should not be a thing, that's weird. And every adult, period, making content like that you'd be kind of sus. It'd be kind of sus. If it's just like, okay, well, it's just NSFW artists or people who make NSFW of those characters, well, or those characters, whether it was aged up. Well, we're gonna go with aged up for the argument right now. At that point, well, I can't even use that example because either way, you'd still be. Because, okay, the example I had in my head, it doesn't even work because you'd still be actively ignoring the logic of them not being kids anymore. And that being a character and not being in like a controlled environment. I think of everything in like science terms. Maybe it's because I'm realistic and I think with logic and facts. But I think of everything in science terms. Everything has to apply, and a natural occurring event is different for something that is controlled and or in a controlled environment. It's a thing that you'll learn in science. If you are a child, you're gonna learn it quickly in science. If something's in a controlled environment, you can control the outcome of most, or you can control or at least try to control most of the outcome of what happens to whatever you're doing. Like, it's for example, I have a candle in my house. You know what I mean? A random fire in my house would burn down my house. I have a candle right now, that's a fire, but I have it in a controlled environment right now. It's on my desk, it's in a container, it has a wick, I buy it at the store, and even if I didn't buy it at the store and I made the candle, this is still a fire. It does not change this is a fire. It's still a fire. But it's in a controlled environment, so I know this fire is going to burn down my entire house. And I guess when it comes to the whole aging up argument, honestly, if people are okay with it being done in regular TV, so us seeing sexual scenes that are supposed to be depicting children that are obviously actors that are way older, or depicting childlike events with actors that are way older, if you don't have a problem with that, it's weird and dumb to me that you would have more of a problem with it being something that is not real, that is not like a real person having like it's weird. I would think the faker it is, the more insignificant it would become, I would think. And that's how I think of it. When it comes to art and drawing shit, I start caring way less than if it's a real life person depicting a real life thing, doing real life stuff. And if I care significantly less about that, I'm gonna care almost not at all about this. You get what I'm saying? But that's just I told myself I wouldn't talk about this. This is why I didn't want to talk, because it's a whole conversation. And you have to start showing examples. And people in the last video, by the way, just were blatantly ignoring what I was saying. It was literally like, yeah, but they're not children anymore. But they were. And it's like, okay, well, I was. But you're an adult now. And I'm like, but that's my point. And I'm gonna ignore what you said. And it's like, okay, cool. There's no point in me arguing it. Then they're telling me I'm missing the point. I was like, alright, cool. Listen, arguing in the comments is fun for me, actually, because I like having conversation and I have no human interaction most of the time, so it's fun for me. But after a while, it does get actively annoying. Trying to explain to someone something when they're actively ignoring points. Everything. When they're actively ignoring shit. It's like, I'm not gonna repeat something to you 500 times so you can ignore it. Like, you're not gonna drive me crazy like that. You know what I mean? It's stupid. I'm sorry. Let me read what you guys are saying. Not be ignoring y'all. Personally, I prefer drawing characters, aging them up, but I see people who don't age up the characters, it freaks me out. That's true. They're getting mad at this person. I'm like, you can literally just look up this NSFW or porn of any character on Google right now. Don't do it, but you can find it. It's not even hard. It's not like the government doesn't want it to be shown and you guys are making stuff that's illegal, and that's what they swear it is. You're making stuff that's basically illegal. It's like, I can Google that right now. Can Google find the source of it, find the person's username, their Twitter, their Instagram, maybe even hack their email. that's going too far, but like, I can literally find unaged up porn of child characters. Okay, whatever you say, sir. And they swear somebody's gone to jail for this before. I'm like, of course they have. I'm sure there were other charges tacked on them. That's totally what that was. I totally believe you. So easy to go to jail. I know that. Anyways, it's weird again, and I don't like it, so I just don't look at it. But that's the best you can do at this point. I'm gonna say what you will about age of character. Put a foot down when people start calling a creator a pet. Exactly. Yeah, when they start calling a creator a pedo or stuff like that, it's just. And like, that's another thing. For me, to have to make somebody's argument for them because they're not good at it, because they're fetuses, and then tear down their argument, first of all, it feels mean for me to do that. Second of all, it's a lot of work. You know? It's weird. For example, I'm not even gonna tell you about that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you that. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna, I was about to say something, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, because I was gonna say something, and I'm not gonna say it, because I'm about to expose myself a little bit there. In my personal life, I'm not gonna say nothing. I just said there's a lot of things I feel uncomfortable with because of scenarios that have happened in my life and things that I feel like shouldn't be a thing, but to harass or stalk or do anything to somebody because of that is just, it's not okay. I don't feel like that's okay at all. It's just what it is. I know, I totally understand. That's why I call them fetuses. We're over emotional. Even me, I'm 22. We're over emotional. Fucking fireballs that basically are ready to explode at anything, at any time, because it is what it is. Like, we're all just. Let me not use that word. I was gonna use the word. Let me not use that word. What's the best equivalent to that? I can't use any of those words. We're fireballs, and the topics we talk about, or the topics that people get riled up about, are basically gasoline. Like, that's all it is. And I understand it, you know? Being over emotional about stuff and being really, I guess, triggered, or I get it because I feel the exact same way. Again, those things make me feel uncomfortable because of things that happen that are significant in my life. So I understand it, don't get me wrong. I just still have to put my foot down because I know better. You know what I mean? Listen, it's actually, I just thought about something. Does that work too? See, I'm starting to think more about this topic, and I'm starting to go back into a whole other thing of like, no, it's yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm starting to think about other examples of like, does that work? Is that bad too? And it literally never ends when you start doing stuff like that. Again, if you feel uncomfortable by it, that's fine. But uh, and at one point, it's like also the argument of like they don't look grown up enough, which is kind of like a whole like. As someone who is I'm the youngest in my family. I've always been the tallest. As somebody who has siblings that are have always been very much shorter than me, it's kind of irritating. We all have like we all used to be young. We all have young looking faces. Other than the fat. If I got rid of my fat, I look like a baby. It's a whole thing. Filters have told me that. And basically you realize that I would look like a fucking baby face probably forever if I got rid of the fat on my face, which I'm trying to do now. So what am I supposed to do when if I look younger and people start IDing me and shit? Am I supposed to like wear makeup now to look older just so you feel more comfortable? What do you want from me? What do you guys want? Like, me and my siblings and all of us, and we're old enough and of age to drink and everything. We look basically the same way we looked in high school. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to get a face transplant? What do you want from me, man? Hey, now I'm overthinking the whole thing. And yeah, I'm waiting for my phone to charge. I'll wait for it to charge a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go down to the store. But there also was the topic of, that's what I was gonna talk about. That we went off another topic. Yaoi and Yuri. That's what I was going to talk about. And this is more me venting, so I can get this, because I recorded the video, but I haven't edited it yet, and I feel like I feel like my thoughts were too scattered because I was low-key, I was a little bit like drunk during it, and so I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, by the way. Let me start drawing, actually, since I'm thinking here. I feel like Yaoi and Yuri, all of it, they just get a bad. I see that comment. Don't even get me started on blank coded. Stop. They didn't want to make the character black, so they didn't want the character to be black. They didn't want to make the character a child. That's why they did not make the character a child. Trust me, there are many animes and shows where the character is obviously a child, and the character obviously is younger, and the character is obviously doing shit that's inappropriate. You don't have to make it not a child for it to be. I guess the whole, like, 100. Actually. That's weird. It's like the whole 100-year-old vampire thing. My hands giving me back, like, Normality's video vibes again. Like, they don't have to make an excuse if they didn't want it to be. Piccolo is now black-coded. Stop. Get off of that shit. He has black Air Force energy, sure, but also he's a bitch most of the time. Let's be 100% honest here. As soon as Piccolo is outclassed, basically as soon as they are on the same level as Goku, Piccolo starts being a bitch. Let's be 100% here. Let's be 100%. Let's be 100. He is not black. They gave him a hat in one episode. That was it. Don't try to tell me nothing. Because I watched basically the whole Dragon Ball Z series over again. Where was he black coded? He never gave off black vibes. He may have been the cool character that maybe every black kid wanted to look up to. He never gave off black vibes. Okay? You have a better chance of convincing me Knuckles is black coded. Alright? Piccolo is not nothing. He just gave off black Air Force energy sometimes. And that was about it. That was when he was, like, evil. When he started being good, he started giving off bitch energy. So, it doesn't even matter. I overheard her talking to a friend on the phone, and she walked around her college campus. Someone said, "What is that 12-year-old doing here?" I can't. Ah! That's hilarious. Like, sorry. That's true. Also, all of the... Yeah, it's weird. And with guys, it's even weirder. Because the biggest indicator for a guy being older than he is, or older than he looks, is usually either how big they are, like, whether it's tall or whatever, or a beard. So smooth-faced people, or smooth-bodied people that are short, are they just fucked? Like, is that what it is? Now I think about it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all make me think now. It's hard. My boyfriend has a baby face without his beard. But he's kind of hairy. I don't know, if he cut his beard enough, he probably looked the same he did in high school too. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. Sometimes, listen, it's not my fault. I'm having a stroke. It's not my fault that fucking black don't crack. Listen, it's not my fault. My ass be cracking. This fat be making me crack, but that's about it. Ow. Oh yeah! You are 100% right. What about Goku? Can I not be attracted to Goku then? Since Goku went back and forth, didn't he? You know what? Never mind. Stop. It's over. We're not talking about this anymore. Because y'all are, stop. No more. We done. I'm over it. Over this conversation. What I wanted to talk about, we're gonna talk about. It's some bullshit. That got me on a whole fucking... My brain's now filled with it. I want to talk about the discrimination of Yuri and Yaoi content. Car alarm? Because I feel like I want... It was during that time. It was specifically... Wait. Exactly, honey. Exactly. Honey Miracle, you understand? But I feel like people often... What's the word I'm looking for? Discriminate against Yuri and Yaoi content. Because a lot of it is romantic and a lot of it is trauma filled. And then it's like, okay, well, you're trying to sexualize all... Well, not sexualize, but... Yeah, no, it's usually sexualize or fetishize all lesbians or whatnot. And I feel like... I know back in the day, it was used to categorize specifically like that type of content, and usually the content was either porn or had something to do with that. But I think it's better now. I think nowadays it's like, how can I explain it? I think nowadays we're to a point where I think it doesn't represent just that anymore. There are good shows that are about, lesbians. Wait, what? Oh, you're watching Miraculous Ladybug? I've never watched that. You did give me another example of something else, but see now aging up characters all in my mind, so I'm trying to make this argument, and all I keep thinking about is more examples of this shit. Ah! When you just said the main character is a stalker in Miraculous Ladybug, it made me think about Killing and Stalking. Is that what it's called? Killing and Stalking? It's a... Is it a show? No, it's a manga. I think it's just a manga about I think he's a serial killer. I'm pretty sure he's a serial killer, at least at the end. He's basically a serial killer that kidnaps this boy, and the boy has Stockholm Syndrome, and they're in kind of like a weird, like, Stockholm Syndrome relationship type thing, and it's a whole thing. And now I think about it, that's another example of if aging up characters is such a thing of where that's sexualizing minors, and that's what that is. If that's the case, does that mean that does that mean people shouldn't be acting out murder scenes and shit like that? Is that not okay? Cause now you think about it, that's what I mean of like everything applies and everything's in a controlled environment. But in this case, all that has to apply to now killing and murder and everything else that we see in TV shows and anime. So does that mean if someone makes a horror anime, they're obviously obsessed with the murder and they obviously want to murder someone, or that's on their mind at all times because they made a whole anime about it? Obviously, that's how that works. They must be murderers. Like, they must be projecting if they have a character that's like them or seems like them or anything like that. Or you have a villain character, it must be like you must be a terrible person. Example, my character, like the character I have that represents myself or represents me in some way is like a dick. You know what I mean? Or they're an asshole, or they're a murderer, or they've killed somebody, or they make jokes, or they're pushy, or whatever. That must transfer on to me in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Or I like murderers. Obviously, if I like a murderer character, I must love murder. I must love murderers. I must think that in real life, murder is just cool, and it's just, that's not how that works. Is my microphone buzzing? I gotta make sure. Okay, give me a second. Let me unplug it and plug it back up, because sometimes it fucks up. Better? Sorry, that was loud. Better? No, we're good? Okay. Making sure. But, like, that would have to apply there, and you're like, no, of course that's not. Of course if you like a murderer character, you find that character attractive, you're not attracted to murderers. And it's just like, but that's your logic. That obviously that's how it works, and it doesn't just go away because it's a different scenario that you find okay. That's not how that works. It does have to apply to other scenarios similar to that. So if you replace kids with murderers, it would have to apply there. But it doesn't. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, that's a whole other situation. But whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna continue to make this thing. My phone almost done charging. Okay, I got in probably like 10 minutes probably for it to finish charging. Let me actually draw something instead of just having something on screen. Like a freak. I promise I'm gonna draw something. Right, a reference. So, if you don't know what I'm going for exactly, this is it. This is, so it's gonna be like a white character like this, and it's gonna be, and then it's gonna be me, and it's gonna be a whole thing. I'm living out my bisexual fantasies. Leave me alone. No, but it would have to apply, and they just don't think about it like that, because it's like, no, that's dumb. That's something I would never make that argument. And it's like, well, no, if you're making the one argument, then it would apply to this argument as well. And it's like, no, but that's not a thing. And it's like, all right, cool. That means that's your feelings. That means that you feel that way, because again, that's how it works. But I don't like her chin. Her chin's not really. Yeah, I have to might reform the chin here. I don't know. Anyways, my point of saying all of this is because it's, I want to say this, but I also feel like it's too much, or I feel like I'm saying it to who? For what? What am I saying this for? It's going to fall on deaf ears, and I know this, and most other people have common sense to know this. This is literally just fetuses in the art community, from what I can see. Or kids that follow shit, that don't understand how the real world works, because I'm a kid and I know everything, apparently. Haven't got out of high school yet. Couldn't graduate if I wanted to, because don't know it all, but I apparently know it all still. Makes no sense. But I also get it because I used to be like that. Well, that's not entirely true. No, not really actually. I'm very vocal of like, I don't know this. Like I don't know how this works, no. Why can't I ever do the hair from the side? No. That's weird. That's now that that's also a thing. I feel like in general, art has just become like, it kind of sucks, low key. It feels like every art piece of art that you make has to be this symbol of something. It can't just be I'm making a fun thing that means like it's not as deep as you think it is, basically. You know what I mean? It's it's becoming not fun anymore. Like now it's all the day, or now I'm having a stroke. Nowadays it's like you'll be called out for making a character that's not to somebody else's liking. And it's like, remember back in the day, maybe it's just me, when I was younger, when I got into art, it was literally to express myself and to make things or do things that I would never do, and just it was just nice to have an outlet. And it feels like nowadays everybody's trying to take away that outlet or make it out to be something that's not, when it's just an expression of yourself. And when I say expression of yourself, again, fetuses don't understand this, but an expression of yourself in the sense of I am putting out a feeling. Does that mean that feeling necessarily directly reflects back onto me? Like, I obviously am making a serial killer character right now because I'm thinking about killing somebody, or I have done it and that's why I'm making the character. No. It's literally like I'm feeling depressed right now. I really like making this serial killer character. I'm having a stroke every time. I'm really enjoying making this serial killer character because it's really nice and they're really nice to make. And for some reason, I just like their design, and just, I don't know, something about it is just making me feel good. I don't like serial killers. Obviously, if I saw one, I would be frightened. I don't want this in my life. But this is a fantasy. I just want to be an ogre, like I don't want to think about my real life. I want to have this outward expression of this is not real. So I can make whatever I feel like. Unlike with the real world, well, this is it. I'm having a stroke. Unlike with the real world, where this is real, and this sucks all the time, and I have to deal with this and can't do anything about it because I can't change anything about it. And it just, I don't know. Nowadays, it just feels like everything, everybody's just so sensitive, especially in the art community. And it feels like it's going back into the day of like $1 million painting. Well, it's still kind of a thing, but $1 million painting will be like an apple. Just an apple, like an anime, and having a stroke. A banana taped to a board, and that's art. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, what? Like that's fucking stupid. Like that's how I feel. It's like fucking stupid. Uh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Speaking of that, I literally have two characters who kill each other for love. It came from a dream. Exactly. And even there, it's like saying like you dreaming and you dreaming of some random shit is obviously you trying to project onto your real life. And it's like, no, my mind just came up with it. It doesn't mean anything. It just it's a dream. I've had a repetitive dreams. I don't know if anybody else said that where it's like the dream will continue on in a different dream. And it doesn't mean that like I'm trying to project that dream onto my real life. Like I really want like I don't know sand people to come and murder my family so I can go on a huge adventure and then later in the next stream I do more. Like that's not a thing, but like that also would be cool if it was. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I just it's just a dream. Okay, I don't even know sand people. I don't even know what they would look like. It's a fantasy moment. Please stop trying to project your insecurities and honestly you're not able to come up with those type of ideas and drawings onto me because that's low-key with it's giving off jealousy for me. That's what I'm trying to say. It's giving off real I'm jealous vibes, low-key. Not all the time, but a good chunk of the time it's like obviously you could never just come up with a character like this and go and just do research into like how to make the character more believable and stuff like that. Obviously you're trying to project onto somebody else. That's not how it works. And it's like, bro, it sounds like you can't do that and you're mad that I can't. Like, what's your problem? But then again, maybe that's just how I feel. Make this chin look a bit more. It's kind of flat looking, but yeah, I'll just kind of bring it down, I guess. Even doing drawings like I'm doing right now, obviously, I like to keep my character singles because I don't like having to make lovey type stuff. But obviously, I'm not single, and I'm not single. I'm not single, and I'm not trying to project singleness on me. I have a man's. And I'm not just trying to be like. This is not my slight way of telling him like I'm leaving you soon. It's a drawing. It doesn't mean anything. And like every drawing doesn't have to mean something. Every drawing doesn't have to be this big thing. It could literally just be it's a fantasy and I want to draw it, bro. It's like this will work for movies and shit, but it feels like artists are just being more sensitive to this type of thing nowadays. And it's like, sure, you can say that their portrayal sucks. You can say that the drawing sucks, even. You can say that they maybe didn't do it right. That's a criticism. That's okay. You know, that's a I agree, disagree type thing. People want to make it like, no, you can't disagree because it's illegal. Like, it's really bad. And it's like, nah, fam, that's not how it works. Uh, I was making a character who was a war criminal, so I basically love war crime. I feel like if I were to draw something, I feel like I have to put my absolute best in everything or it'll suck. Chaos say. Damn, I wish I had a man's or a woman's. Listen, you'll find somebody. I don't know how old you are, but you'll find somebody. If you're young, then I wouldn't even be thinking about them. They suck. When you're older, it's fine because like you can have that time and those people have matured in some way, shape, or form. When you're younger, dating fucking sucks, man. I'd just be like, yeah, you could. I would be alone. I'd make the choice to be alone. All the boyfriends I've gone through as a young person, sure, it gave me experience, but also like they just fucking suck. Like, I'm glad for the experience, but like you fucking sucked ass, bro. You know, this is supposed to be 30 minutes. I was supposed to be talking specifically for 30 minutes, and it's been way over that. I continuously like live streaming. It's just, God, it's a lot. And then, like, because it's a long ass stream, I feel like nobody's trying to watch that, nor does anybody care about the shit I'm saying. And, you know, I like making videos that are digestible for people instead of making long ass things that will just tire you out. God. Sometimes I feel like all my thoughts and feelings have to be into something, and I slowly realize, no, no, they don't. I think you just want that to be a thing, but you don't have to say every single thing that comes to your mind. That's why I made like 40-minute videos before, because that's literally why. Because I want to say everything that came to mind. I'm like, this really isn't the topic for that. This is really not. Doop. Let's see. I think I'm done. I also think my neighbors may not like when I do these types of things because I yell and the window is very much open because it gets hot in my room very easily without the fan on. So there also is that. So I try not to stream too much. And again, I like streaming, but also sometimes I don't have enough to say for a whole stream, you know? So I feel like I don't want to bore everybody with shit. It's getting to that point. How long have I been streaming? It has been. Let me check. Give me a second. Let me not scroll all the way down. Your voice is really quiet though. Well, yeah, I'm quiet. I'm a quiet person. I'll be quiet. I have my thing turned all the way up, so well, there's that, and I'm also a little bit farther away from my mic because I'm like leaning down to get this thing going. So there's that. I usually have to. I'm having a stroke. I usually have to bump up all my volume in my videos, so because I'm like so quiet, or because I just feel like it's easier for people to like turn it down than to just it not be loud enough. So there's that. I mean, well, here's what I'll do. I have to go because it's been like 16 minutes. It's been over an hour basically. So here's what I'm gonna do. Um, I'm gonna go get these shoes. I need to go get food also. I was thinking of getting like a baked potato and having like broccoli and macaroni tonight. I don't want it now. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. That's bad. I'm supposed to be fucking eating and then keeping track of this a bunch of shit. That's another thing. I'm gonna be losing weight. I've been fat for too long, and it's starting to get to a point of like I feel like depressed about. That's another thing. I'm gonna talk about this really quickly. Really quickly. I'm gonna talk about this depressing part of my life because I was supposed to be talking about depressing stuff, but I didn't. But I'm gonna talk about this one. I'm barren. I wouldn't. Well, I don't know exactly. It is extremely difficult for me to conceive. It's been getting really depressing. Because, when I was a kid, like I'm not 22, when I was younger, that was my goal in life. I didn't like anything. I had no passions. I really hated life. But my goal was children. That's not a thing for me right now. It's not an easy thing anyways. Like I've told you guys before, I don't wear condoms. It's the whole thing. One of the reasons that might be affecting that is my weight, I'm sure. And even though I haven't gone to the doctor because I was supposed to, but like every time I call the doctor, they literally don't answer. So I don't know how to feel about that. And I'll be like trying to have them, like leave a message and they just won't call me back. So until I can get that, I'm going to try losing weight and seeing if that affects anything. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But it's starting to get depressing. Because I got that, and that sucks. I keep hearing about people having kids, having babies, and it's getting depressing. I'm just like, bitch, I can't do it. It sucks. But also, just being fat in general sucks sometimes. I feel like it might also just be bringing me down in the sense of like really sluggish. And I'm almost sure it's not, but I'm not sure if maybe I feel really tired all the time and unmotivated, maybe even kind of depressed because of it, Like, I don't really care. I mean, no matter if I lose weight or not, I'm gonna end up wearing black on black on black on black. Like, it's so bad to where, like, if I showed you my bucket, like my, what's the word I'm looking for? My clothes bucket with all my clothes in it, you wouldn't know where the pants begin, the shirts end, the drawers are there. You wouldn't know because it's just black on black on black. Solid black. There's no black on white. It's like one or two light pieces of clothes and then just black. I'm gonna be wearing that regardless. Like, it's not gonna leave. I'm gonna be wearing like 3X shirts, even though I do not fit them. But it might make me feel a bit more energized and it will give me something to do because low-key I'm just sitting at my house sad and depressed all day. So that's a thing. So I was gonna keep track of that, but I don't know exactly how to do it. I was thinking to start trying to do animations because the animations sound really fun. I was gonna try it anyways. Well, I already have, but I was gonna start doing them anyways. But like, I could do like little weight loss updates here and there, or random shit here and there about life and things like that. I just do that all on my second channel just to give me something else to do, because I don't like feeling sedentary. Like, as much as it sounds like I'm just like I want to do nothing because I don't like people, I don't like going out. The sun feels like it's sucking the energy out of me every time I walk out of my home. I also don't like doing absolutely nothing. That is actually torture for me. If someone told me just to lay down and go to sleep and gave me just like phone and food, I'd hate my life. Like, I really would. I don't like doing that. I like getting up. For me, I like running and things like that. And I was gonna do like, I see what you're saying. I can't read exactly everything you're saying because I'm talking, but I see exactly what you're saying. I was um my Switch is broken. It's been broken for a while. I was supposed to replace it, just haven't done it. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna buy a new one because I need to buy a new one anyways. I was gonna buy a new one and get like the Ring Fit and do that. But that's also probably not gonna be realistic for me yet, to be fair, because like, how can I say? I'm fat. This is not. I'm like 260, like 260, 270, right? I'm tall. Well, I'm like 5'7", you know, but I'm like 260, right? My floors are weak. So I'm to the point where like the ring and doing that type of stuff in my room is not an option. Doing it downstairs is a panic attack waiting to happen. I'm not doing that. People could come in, I'll feel paranoid, it's not a thing. Realistically, I'm probably gonna do all of my exercising in my room for like basic things like squats, stuff like that, in my room, and then like other stuff outside. So like I was gonna buy, when I have money, I was gonna buy a medicine ball and things like that, and do all that workout outside. You know what I mean? Like weights, stuff like that. So like I'm like as much as I want to be like I want to do the little ring and like get my like bitch work on that, like I can't do it. Like I'll break my floor. There's already like dents in my floor because we have like a lot. No, I actually don't know why. I think our floor is just weak in general, so it's just not going to be a thing. But like, ooh, if they have good arm exercises or like upper body exercises, then probably I might actually get it. I would have to see. I have to go look. But other than that, it's just it'll probably be like upper body or like again just light workouts that won't break my floor, like push-ups, sit-ups, uh like you know when like people have like the like resistant bands things and like you grab them and you pull them up and you know what I mean, like it gives you this resistance. It's a whole thing, you know what I'm trying to say. Like probably that type of stuff here. Also, the most important thing, which I have a big problem with, is eating. As I said before, I'm gonna get like macaroni and cheese and a baked potato for my dinner, basically at this point. I have bad eating habits. A bitch is hungry at all times. I'll eat just because I feel like it. I'm an emotional eater, you know? And it's kind of hard for me to have a good diet because all of the like diet recommendations people have are like, here's some berries with some oatmeal. And I'm like, that actually sounds fire. But you know what I mean? Like, here's some chia seeds and water and cotton balls. Like, eat that for lunch and you'll be great. And I'm just like, bitch, that don't sound like a meal. That sounds like you want me to eat air. And it's like, oh yeah, air for dinner. And it's like, no, I need food. Or I need something that's like not, I I can't. Like, it doesn't sound appealing. So like that was the whole thing. I basically took like the last few days looking that shit up. And I have actual things that are like, okay, this isn't too much. Because really, I don't have a problem eating like vegetables and stuff like that. This isn't too much. It's not too much for me to carry because I have to walk and go get the groceries. It's not too much of like a time thing of like I'm making 2-hour dinners, some shit. Like it's just like, oh, this is a snackable thing. This is a whatever. Berries and oatmeal does sound fire right now, to be fair. But it's like, I think really what it is, I'm very picky. I don't like trying new things entirely. So, and really not even that. I know what I like. You know what I mean? I'm not a chia seeds type person. I don't like tea. I don't like all this stuff, but there are other options. People are just like, no, but use this specific thing. Everybody does. And I'm just like, I don't like eating that. Is there like a substitute? And there is, but they just don't give you that. So I just learned that I just need to, if I don't like the carrot or the steamed carrots, I can just put it out for broccoli or something else or something that's similar to it. It's a whole thing. I've been looking it up all day, or not all day, but all for the past few days. And so it's nice. And I'm like, okay, that works. But I also have to make sure that I'm not obsessing over it, because I do tend to do that with everything also. Is I'll be like, let me count my calories to the T, and it's like, you need to stop. You need to calm down and fix your life right now, because that's not healthy. Or like, let me weigh myself every 2 hours to see if I lost some air weight, and it's like, stop. You can stop. Ugh. I'm an extreme person. I go from one extreme to the other. So either I won't eat or I'll eat a bunch. And so eating like in a, like a equal type thing is different. I can't go to the gym because, again, panic attack and anxiety. So I'm like, okay, gym isn't going to work. I can still work out at home. It's going to take a slower time, but it's just as good. It's just a whole thing. And I think if I work at it, be consistent with it, it should be fine. And so that's kind of what I'm just hoping for, because I'll go back on it. I'll be like, man, you know what sounds great right now? Some Wendy's, and then I'll just start ordering Wendy's every day. And that's not necessarily bad, because Wendy's has decent options. They have good salads. I could eat that for like a dinner. Also, there's their baked potatoes are fire. But like, I'll be like, I may have Wendy's, and I'm like, I just wanted the orange juice and the baked potato. But those chicken nuggets look good. Those fries, and it will go downhill. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing little light workouts in my room, and they're hard, and it sucks. It's probably not the best, but it's good enough. I just need to get out of the funk I have. And I feel like I have ignored a lot of personal problems I've had for a while, and they've been coming up or coming back, or even memory. My memories are coming back, which are terrible, because it's like, I'll have not. Let me give you an example. Then I promise after this, because it's 3 o'clock, I'll be done. For example, I was mugged when I was younger, several times. But through those several times, I'll like black out. So I didn't know this happened until, I want to say, a while ago, probably like last year. I think it was a while ago. I didn't know this happened. What happened in my mind was I fell down, and I just, it was like literally I was walking and then I fell. And I remember getting up and not having my wallet. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I lost it, or I tripped, or I fell somewhere. I can't find it. It was whatever. And it was it's hard to really explain. If you watch not the live stream, the story time I did on this channel, you'll know I've been through some traumatic things with people who are shitting. And so, it was during the time when I was living with the lady, and I was living in the square on the floor. It was during this time, so I think I just blocked it out. I could only assume because I was just gonna blame myself. Like, if I had been, like, conscious of it happening, I guess. Because I had lost my wallet. I had lost the money I had in there. I had lost... I think the lady gave me the wallet, too, because she didn't want it. It was an ugly-ass wallet. But she had gave me the wallet, which is crazy how she. Well, no, it's not that she didn't want, so I wouldn't even be. I'm not even confused about that, but my boyfriend's games were in there, and so it really doesn't make sense that I would forget something like that. But that kind of how it works usually, because realistically, whether I forgot it or not, I was going to just blame myself regardless of, like, it was my fault obviously that I got robbed, and they probably weren't going to see it any other way, but obviously it's my fault that I got robbed somehow. I should have kept it here, or I should have done this, that, and the third, or they weren't going to believe me because they just got my wallet and didn't get the groceries I was carrying. It was a whole thing. Anyways, my point is, I forgot about it. And I realized I've been forgetting about a lot of stuff, and it's all coming back. It's all came back like 2020, 2021, in those time periods, and it's just like, and I know this now, I know it's not my fault. I know that's not my fault. But I was gonna blame myself anyways. Because I know that was the worst part of when I remembered it, it was the first thought I had of like, well, I should have just, I should have just kept this. I'm like, why am I fucking blaming myself for getting robbed? I don't understand. Anyways, there are a lot of situations where like I'll be one place and then be somewhere else, and I just forget fucking everything that literally happens when I'm in crowds. I remember me and my boyfriend went to a baseball game. I can tell you what happened. It wasn't even because I was bored. It's because I was surrounded by a bunch of people. I had never been to a game before, and it was just so overwhelming and anxiety ridden that I blacked out. And then by the time I remember, it was over, and we were watching fireworks, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't really remember what happened, and it's just like that stuff just happens all the time. And my point is, I'm getting to the point is that there's a lot of unfinished problems and personal problems I know I recognize I have. It's just really taking the time to deal with them. I think it's just been a lot. This is all, by the way, all this is supposed to be a video. You can understand why I didn't make it a video and I just live streamed right now. Because it's long. The last one, or the one that I just tried to film, but not gonna film because I did this, it was like an hour or two. And I was just like, bitch, no one wants to hear you talk about nothing for an hour or two. But I'm just trying to feel. This is gonna sound depressing. It's gonna sound suicidal. Hear me out, because it's not. And if it was, trust me, I wouldn't be coming to y'all. I'd come to somebody in my home. I promise. I want to feel something. I just want to get these feelings out. This is not what this is. I want to feel something because I've been feeling very nothing-ish. Like, I'm thinking about these things and I'm bringing up these traumatic experiences, but it's just kind of nothing. I don't really do much because there's nothing really to do. I'll be making a video and it's just nothing is enjoyable. It's a very nothing feeling altogether. And so I'm trying to get back to feeling some love or excitement or anything for anything. Even me making angry shit. It's not even me actually being angry about it. I promise you, it's me talking about things that anybody could point out. It's not like I have feelings involved. Because if you told me it was cool or you liked it, then I would have been like, cool, fine. I don't know if it's just me. In high school and things like that, smiling, happiness, faking those things weren't hard. So it's not hard for me to do it now. That sounds depressing. I sound like I have a problem. But hear me out. I'm trying to get back to a point where, like, I feel a good amount of happiness just even with little things. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I really like this drawing I made. This makes me feel really happy, and me not lying to myself. You know? Does that make sense? I promise I'm not suicidal. You know, I promise I'm not. Promise. I really do. I promise I'm not. I have to. I can't stress that enough. That that's not what this is. Not that. Not. It's nothing concerning. No, nothing that I feel is concerning. If that makes. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I'm just. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, well, reading back you guys' messages. Creamy mushroom soup is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Because every fucking diet plan wants you to have some creamy mushroom something. Mushrooms are the devil. They are penises. They are tiny, shriveled up penises. They taste awful. I hate mushrooms. And it's just like, can I substitute the mushrooms for like potatoes or something? And it's just like, no. No, you can't. And it's just like, but why? I don't like mushrooms. They suck, man. And I don't understand people. Even tomato soup is questionable depending on what you put in it or what I'm dipping it in or whatever. Ugh. Also, thank you. You're proud of me. Oh my god. I'm proud of me too. I climb a 6-story building every day. I don't even think I. Do I know of any building that are 6 stories? Well, yeah, there are apartment buildings, obviously, but. You know. What I'm trying to eat. I should probably eat. Am I seeing a therapist for my issues? No. That's expensive. Apparently my insurance doesn't cover it, which I thought it did at first, but apparently it doesn't. So I can't begin the therapies. That's why I tend to try to be either sympathetic of other people or try to not look it up. I'm not trying to say I'm self-diagnosing myself. That's not what I'm trying to say. Well, some cases it's kind of obvious. It's hard to still ignore, but I'm trying to find what works for me. So if I'm like, okay, I have this problem, or I feel like I have this problem, I try to find ways or look up ways to like solve it. So for me, it's actually really obvious I have anxiety. I've already had a therapist tell me I have anxiety. I just haven't been officially diagnosed technically. But no, it's actually extremely like it'd be dumb of me to deny I had anxiety. It'd be really stupid for me to deny it, or like social, uh, or well, not social anxiety exactly, but social. Like I don't have great social skills. Let's say like that. I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but it'd be dumb of me to deny that. And a therapist already told me like, yeah, that's what it is. They just haven't. The therapist I was talking to was bad. I don't want to talk about them. Their whole thing, like they would tell me I had these problems, and I'm like, okay, well then you should, and then that would help. And I'm like, you know, help me, or it's not there. You know what I'm fucking trying to say. You know the words I'm trying to say. I'm having a scatterbrain moment. I'm replacing other words with other words right now. It's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. Man, I've forgotten whole people before. Like I've forgotten whole people. It's just like, who are you? Oh, I remember you. You did that one thing to me. I remember you now after a while. I don't want to talk to you. Like I really don't. You can eat my ass. It's just like this weird empty feeling, I guess. I don't want to say nothing. It is nothing, but like emptiness is better. I feel like it's more descriptive. I'm fine. I really am. I'm fine. I just don't like mushrooms. Mushrooms are olives. Like I don't get it. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like olives. I don't like fried. I really don't like any beans except for like pork and beans. I'm a very picky person. I don't like people cooking my pasta for me. It's a whole thing. You can. I don't like mushrooms at all, but growing them in your room is a possibility. I know I saw it's on Amazon. There's like a little mushroom growing kit where you literally can just it's like a whole thing. You can like scrape out the mushrooms and you can literally have mushrooms growing in your windowsill. Actually, I don't think they need light. I don't think they even need light. You can literally just have like a box of mushrooms growing and it'll be fine. So I mean, technically, I mean, you want to go on Amazon, you can look up a little like at-home mushroom kit, and you can literally grow ones like in your room somewhere if you want. Actually, just grow them in your room. Put them in like a little box, let them grow. They'll be fine. I wanted to get one just because I like the aesthetic look of mushrooms, but they're the devil. They taste like shit, in my opinion. Oh, that's also another thing. I was also gonna make a video talking about American Horror Story. I stroke American Horror Story because I've been watching that for a while now, and me and my boyfriend are rewatching a lot of it. The series is awful, and the American Horror Stories series they made is awful. And I'm gonna watch the new episodes of the 10th season tonight, and they're probably gonna be bad too. The show itself is interesting, like it keeps my interest, but like story wise and sense wise, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like the writers were on shrooms. Oh, getting high on shrooms? I wouldn't. Honestly, I'm more of like a weed drunk person. Those are my two drugs of choice, personally, other than Tylenol every day. Shrooms seem like when it comes to stuff like that, I first of all I can't personally take them. Period. You know what I mean? Weed already makes me paranoid enough. Like a bad trip of weed makes me like it's not good. Like my life isn't good. I feel like I'm dying and I'm sinking into everything I'm like laying on. That's already a bad thing for me. Shrooms make me way too paranoid, and I would not be able to function. I'd be scarred for life. I personally just wouldn't take them. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I haven't taken them myself, but I wouldn't. I would. Oh yeah, there's also if you have seen the What If series, I was also gonna make a video on that now thinking about it. I need to write that down. Because it's 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 not the best, but I understand why they made it. And I feel like it low key shouldn't have been made, but I get well, let me not say that. If they're gonna make it, I honestly would have just literally. Well, no, because they've already done that. Yeah, no, it's bad. It's not bad. It's good. It's not the greatest. It's not what I think everybody was expecting it to be. Marvel's already made like 42 TV shows about like all the what ifs we actually care about. Which the what ifs are the ones that we care about usually are already made into comics and then made into like TV shows or movies. And usually they're animated movies, but they're already made. So all the what ifs that we really want to know, like what if this happened to Superman or what if he died or whatever, they've already made them. So it's just like kind of talking about like these little what ifs that are probably really interesting to people who are like hardcore comic book fans, probably, but like casual watchers or anybody like that, it's probably not as interesting as they thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Which, yeah. Also, can we talk about how Marvel has a whole movie coming out they literally haven't talked about at all? I forget the name of the movie, but it's like I don't want to say Asian movie. That sounds fucking rude. It's like Shang something. I'm not even joking. It's like I sound bad saying that. Let me see. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. That movie is coming out. Like, I was gonna go see that movie this weekend. And they literally don't talk about that movie ever. And so I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? Like, they're not marketing it at all. I'm having a stroke. They're not marketing it at all. Yeah, it's literally, I'm gonna go see it this weekend. Like, that's how, like, like, nobody knows because they literally don't care. And it's just, when does it come out officially? Or, let me see. It comes out September 3rd, officially. Like, it's just a whole movie. It's all Asian, well, all, if not mostly Asian cast. Like, it seems like kind of like it's giving me like Bruce Lee vibes, and not just because he's Asian, but because it's like a fighting movie. But see, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, no, it's kind of giving Bruce Lee vibes. If you watch the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. It's giving like Bruce Lee vibes, but also like it seems really interesting because I don't know this character, I don't know his story. Like this is a really interesting thing. I kind of want to see it just in case like it's a banger. You know what I mean? Like it's bussin', and then like that's probably not the right word to use in that in that sentence. But what if it's a banger and then they just never marketed it? You know? I feel like all the Asian movies that they've had, they really like Disney period has had that they just have not been marketing it. I feel like there's that one movie with like the girl and I forget. I remember honestly the look of the movie, but I remember there was like no marketing for it. But I would see it and it looked really nice, but no one talked about it after. And like, it's weird. No, it's 2 hours, so it seems like they're putting time into it. It's not like it's just like a 1 hour movie. I'm sure it would be interesting. Has Black Widow even come out yet? Let's see. Oh yeah, it already came out. Oh yeah, it's because it's behind the paywall. I forgot. Black Widow's still behind fucking Disney. Was it Disney Premium? Yeah, they need to stop. They need to release that because I'm not watching it. Like I'm not going on Premium. They need to release it from Premium already if they haven't. Uh, but yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna go watch it and hopefully it's good. But I don't know. I doubt because there's no marketing. I doubt that like the seating will get snatched up. So I'm just kind of like low key gonna wait until the day to buy the tickets because I feel like there's not gonna be like a whole bunch of seating, which is shitty because it looks good. Doesn't look like it's a bad movie. Doesn't look like it's a great one either because I don't know the character. But I might fall in love with the character looking at it. You don't know. They just really are marketing it for shit. Anyways, I'm sorry. We went from depressing to talking about a movie to talking about like random shit. I'm sorry. I need to go. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take this damn bus and go get these damn shoes. My feet aren't black because my feet have been black, like blacker than me, because I haven't been like there's a hole in one of my shoes, and so it's just dirt and shit getting into my foot. It's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm gonna go. This is why I don't live stream anymore because I just ramble on and I'll just be talking forever about nothing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. Excuse me. I'm going to. Excuse me. I'm going to save this live stream. I'm going to edit it tonight and I'm going to upload it tomorrow with the same thumbnail and everything because I realize I've been talking about nothing. and my speech patterns are all over the place. So yeah. And hopefully I don't sound like I'm in a fountain. And hopefully I can having a stroke. I can bump up the volume so it doesn't sound too bad. So there. That's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I'm gonna go. It's good night. It was night for you. The afternoon for me. So I'll see you guys later. I don't know. I'm just okay right now. By the way, I'm just doing a bunch of thumbnails right now, and I'm gonna do all the videos and probably have them out next week. So all the videos that I have or I've talked about will probably come out then. If not, yell at me about it because they're supposed to. But I will see you guys later. Goodbye. I'm not gonna say love you because of parasocial relationships. I care about your existence and your flesh.